Hey boys and girls, this is Mrs. Murillo, and today I want to talk to you about how to draft your reason 1 of your opinion essay. So to begin with, the first thing we want to do is go to the Jamboard that you've created with your partner and label your reasons. So I have 3 reasons, 3 categories that show why tsunamis are deadly. Number 1, they're powerful. 2, they have human impact. They create a strong human impact. And 3, they're unpredictable. So now, today, I'm just only going to be focusing on the first reason right here. So I'm only going to be looking at why they are powerful. And this is the first paragraph that I'm going to begin drafting in my draft pad. So let me switch over to my DocCam. And we're going to go ahead, and the first thing we want to do, remember when we start drafting, is to spot and dot. So we're going to dot every other line, going all the way, starting from the top of the page all the way down. We want to make sure we leave space. We want to skip lines as we draft, because when we go back to revise, we're going to need that room to make changes. So please make sure you remember to skip lines. Very important. Next, I'm going to add my title to the top. So since this is my first reason, I'm going to label this page reason 1. Then I want to indent and get ready to start my first sentence. So I'm going to start, since this is my first reason, I'm going to say the first reason that, since I'm writing about tsunamis, so I'll put tsunamis, that tsunamis are, and then everyone will use this, are the most deadly disaster. Oops, spelled that wrong. I'm just going to put a line through it and keep going. Are the most deadly disaster. And then remember, we used this before, is because. Remember that phrase on the first reason online shopping is the best, is because you can find specialty items. Remember, we did that last time when we wrote our first opinion essays. So I'm going to go back to my reason 1, powerful, and see, okay, what was my first reason? What was that first piece of evidence? And I see that it mentions that is because they are powerful. So my first reason is they are powerful. That's just my first category. I got it right off that first category. Now I want to give some evidence. So I'm going to use for example. So for example, and I've got some evidence. The first fact of evidence says the highest tsunami wave was in Alaska, reaching over 1,720 feet high. So that's the first piece of evidence. I'm going to go ahead and add that next to where I've written for example. So I'm going to switch back over here in a moment to my DocCam view, and I want you to be thinking about your columns. What will be your first reason that you wrote and you and your partner came up with as you're thinking about that as I'm switching. All right, now that I have that first piece of evidence written down, I'm going to jot that and then gather my second piece of evidence also. So my second piece of evidence says, looking back at my facts, that tsunami waves can travel up to 500 miles per hour. So as you look at my draft pad now, you'll see that I have both pieces of evidence. So first I wrote, for example, the highest tsunami wave was in Alaska, reaching up to 1,720 feet tall. And now I'm adding another piece of evidence. A second fact under that category was, in addition, tsunami waves can travel, so how fast can they go? Up to, let's see, it said 500 miles per hour. I'm checking my fact to make sure that I'm writing that down correctly. I don't want to just make that up out of my head. I want to look back at my notes. I need one more fact because I still have another piece of evidence. Some of you may have 3, some people may have 4 here, and that's fine. I still have, before a tsunami occurs, ocean waves can recede and gain new strength as they return to shore. So I'm going to be checking back to my Jamboard to make sure I'm copying this down exactly as I see it here on the Jamboard into my draft pad. All I've done is added that transition phrase also as a transition to the third fact. So you will be doing the same. You'll be gathering your pieces of evidence, which are your facts. And again, some of you may have 3, some people may have 4. If you have 4, that's okay. Just add the 4th one. Use another transition word for that, like also or in addition. Okay, so now that I've got my last, let's see, I think I've got my last one just about done here. Also, before a tsunami occurs, ocean waves can recede and gain new strength as they return to shore. So that was my last piece of evidence. I have all three facts included in this reason 1 draft. and I just need to put a conclusion. So I'm going to end by saying, it is clear, and you can use this too, it is clear, and I'm just restating what I've already written as my reason. It is clear, let me see, that tsunami waves, what was I writing about? What was this whole section all about? Oh yes, they are powerful. This whole category was about how powerful tsunami waves are. So I'm going to end by saying it's clear that tsunami waves are powerful. So you can see what I did was I came up with my reason. I said, the first reason that tsunami waves are the most deadly disaster is because, so we want to use that phrase, is because they are powerful. Then after that, boys and girls, I added in my evidence the 3 facts. I used transition words like for example, in addition, and also. And then I ended by restating my reason. It is clear that tsunami waves are powerful. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson and have fun drafting your Reason 1 essay today.